असौ त्वयि विश्वविस्मये न विस्मयो असौ त्वयि विश्वविस्मये यः मायया इदं ससर्जे अतिविस्मयं यो माययेदं ससर्जे अतिविस्मयं का श्रद्ददातीत अन्यतमस्तव प्रभो रसां गताया भुववुद्विबर्हणम् न विस्मयो असौ त्वयि विश्वविस्मये यो माययेदं ससर्जे अतिविस्मयम् का श्रद्ददीता अन्यतमस्तव प्रभो रसां गताया भुववुद्विबर्हणम् न विस्मयो असौ त्वयि विश्वविस्मये यो माययेदं ससर्जे अतिविस्मयम् Kaha, who else? Shraddadita can endeavor. Anyatamaha, anyone besides yourself. Tava, your. Prabho, O Lord. Rasam, in the water. Gatayaha, while lying in. Bhuvaha, of the earth. Udvibarhanam, deliverance. Na, never. Vismayaha, wonderful. Aso, such an act. Tvayi, unto you. Vishwa, universal. Vismaye, full of wonders. Yaha, one who. Mayaya, by potencies. Idam, this. Sasarje, created. Ati Vismayam, surpassing all wonders. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Who else but you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, could deliver the earth from within the water? It is not very wonderful for you, however, because you acted most wonderfully in the creation of the universe. By your energy, you have created this wonderful cosmic manifestation. Please repeat that translation. Who else but you, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, could deliver the earth from within the water? It is not very wonderful for you, however, because you acted most wonderfully in the creation of the universe. By your energy, you have created this wonderful cosmic manifestation. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When a scientist discovers something impressive to the ignorant mass of people, the common man, without inquiry, accepts such a discovery as wonderful. But the intelligent man is not struck with wonder by such discoveries. He gives all credit to the person who created the wonderful brain of the scientist. A common man is also struck with wonder by the wonderful action of material nature, and he gives all credit to the cosmic manifestation. The learned Krishna conscious person, however, knows well that behind the cosmic manifestation is the brain of Krishna, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita, Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam. Since Krishna can direct the wonderful cosmic manifestation, it is not at all wonderful for him to assume the gigantic form of a boar and thus deliver the earth from the mire of the water. A devotee is therefore not astonished to see wonderful boar, because he knows that the Lord is able to act far more wonderfully by his potencies, which are inconceivable to the brain of even the most erudite scientist. Doesn't see Bhakti Vedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuram Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namavom Vishnupadhaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Nityanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So continuation of prayers to Lord Bhor by all the great sages. So it is said, Ka Shraddadita Anyatamah Tavah Prabhu. Oh my dear Lord, Prabhu, Ka Shraddadita, who can endeavor Anyatamaha, other than you? Rasam Gataya Bhuva Udvibarhanam, to lift this earth which is at the bottom of the ocean. Rasam Gataya Bhuvi Udvibarhanam, who can lift it? Unless you, nobody else can do this. Only you are capable of doing it. Na Vismaya, there is nothing wonderful in this. Aso Tvayi Vishva Vishmaya, we have created this entire wonderful creation of this universe. This is nothing, this is not that wonderful because you have already created wonderful universe. Yo Mayaya Idam Sasarje Ati Vishmayam, and this entire, you have created this entire cosmic manifestation which is Ati Vishmayam by your energy, Mayaya Idam. So because any activity connected with the Lord is very wonderful. So that is being emphasized here because Lord's activities are something beyond common man's imagination. So that's why they look very wonderful. So what are, in that purport Prabhupada says, since Krishna can direct the wonderful cosmic manifestation, it is not at all wonderful for him to assume a gigantic form of a boar and thus deliver the earth from the mire of the water. So Krishna, it is not wonderful for him because he can accept any form as required, and so he can perfect the activity what he has taken up. As a common man is struck with wonder by the wonderful action of a material nature, and he gives all credit to the cosmic manifestation without inquiring into the brain behind it. This is a common sense principle. We see everything wonderful. We see a beautiful flower. We see a beautiful picture, scenery. We give credit to the material nature. But who is the artist behind, Prabhupada says. So that energy, everything and all that is acting on the order of the Lord. So that credit should actually be given to the Lord. The learned Krishna conscious person, however, knows well that behind the cosmic manifestation is the brain of Krishna. So the intelligent person who is Krishna conscious is able to identify, because anything in this world which is wonderful, which is brilliant, which is beautiful, Krishna says, it is because of me only. In the 10th chapter, last slokas, Krishna says, Yad yad vibhuti matsatvam shrimat urjitam evava tattat evava gachatvam mama teja amsha sambhavaha. It's a spark of my splendor. Whatever you see, beautiful, magnanimous, aristocratic, anything of extraordinary in nature in this material world, it's just a spark of my splendor. So, the whole point is, the credit goes to Krishna. So, common men are not aware of this principle. Only intelligent Krishna conscious devotees are able to appreciate the hand of Krishna in every activity. So nowadays people were all searching in that OpenAI, artificial intelligence. So I also gave a question to system. The question was, why are Lord Krishna's activities so wonderful? I just gave this question. See, it gave me a 5-point answer. So it says, Krishna is revered as the embodiment of wisdom and compassion and bliss. It is correct. Satchitananda. Next. Krishna's life and teachings are recorded in Bhagavad Gita and which continue to inspire people even to this day. That is correct. Bhagavad Gita, the most famous religious book read across the world. He is also known for his role in the Mahabharata war, where he served as a charioteer and advisor to the warrior prince Arjuna. Krishna's playful and mischievous nature as a child, known as Krishna Leela, is widely celebrated in Bhagavatam. Because in entire Krishna's pastimes, Lord Krishna's childhood pastimes are most magnanimous pastimes. So, this is also as per Bhagavatam, this is correct. Krishna's loving affairs with Radha Rani is considered as one of the greatest love stories of all time. So, this is also correct. So, in 5-point essence, this is saying, these are some of the reasons why Lord Krishna's activities are considered wonderful. So, appropriate. As per our philosophy, it was able to research and get back to us, maybe in a minute, it has given all these technical details. So, sometimes what happens now, when we start becoming too much educated, we lose one principle called as common sense. So, atividya dhurta lakshanam. This is a common saying. If we have too much educated, we become a fool, it seems. So, there was one illiterate father and the most educated son. Both of them went for a camping. They climbed onto the top of a hill. There they made their tent. Because they had worked their hard climbing, all these things and all, as soon as they went there, they slept off. In the dead of the night, father woke the son and asked, "What do you see in the top?" The son said, "There are beautiful stars and the entire sky was brightly lit." So, father said, "What do you conclude by this?" Said, "Astronomically, there are so many stars and so much things, and it is wonderful creation." Like he started explaining, glorifying astronomy. Then father gave him a tight slap. Son asked, "Why?" "I am saying this, somebody had stolen our tent. We are supposed to sleep inside the tent. Somebody had stolen our tent. We are seeing the stars now." So the principle is, we have lost the common sense. Similarly, one more perspective. A mother was complaining to the father that our son is stealing money. Wherever I keep in the house, he is stealing the money. What should I do? Where should I put them safe? Father said, "Keep it in his books. He will never open them. So it will always be there." See, sometimes what happens? Common sense principle, because they know wherever he will be searching everywhere except in his own books. So the principle is, how do we use our intelligence to understand Krishna's pastimes? We should not become scholarly. We should understand the mood in which it is being communicated. So similarly, I was searching in Bhagavatam in the 10th canto, the same specific purpose, wonderful activities of Lord Krishna. Because Krishna's pastimes are very unique. So different people have given different perception of what is that uniqueness in that pastime. So Shukadeva Goswami puts forward this question. So he says, "Atanyad api Krishnasya toka charitam adbhutam manusham lokam asadya tam jatim anurundataha." So he is saying, "Ata anyad api Krishnasya." I want to hear more of Krishna's pastimes. Toka acharitam adbhutam, because his childhood pastimes are adbhutam, very wonderful. Toka means child. Toka acharitam, the activities what he had performed as a child are most wonderful thing. Manusham lokyam asadya, entering into this material world as a human boy to the parents of Nanda and Yashoda. Tad jatim anurundataha, imitating the activities of a common child, human being, Lord performed most wonderful activities. I want to hear more of them. So in various places, Shukadeva Goswami, how he had enumerated, it says, Tam asmanam manyamanaha atmano gurumattaya gale grihita uchrashtum nasaknod adbhuta arbakam. So this is the pastime of Krishna and who is that demon? Trunavrata. Trunavrata was flying in the air. He was carrying Krishna. Krishna was a small baby boy. But Krishna, because of his excessive weight, he had caught hold of the neck of Trunavrata. That Trunavrata was not able to breathe and he was suffocating and he was being pulled down like a heavy weight. So what was his perception of Lord Krishna? It says, so Atmano Guru Mattaya, he was feeling Krishna is more heavier than him. Trunavrata was a heavy personality with a huge size and Krishna was a small boy. But he was feeling Atmano Guru Mattaya. Krishna was very heavier than him, he was feeling. Atmano Guru Mattaya. And Tam Asmanam Manyamanaha. He considered him like a lump of huge iron, like a mountain. He was feeling that Krishna's weight was like a huge iron mountain. And Gale Grihita Vutsrashtam Na Asaknod. Since Krishna had caught hold of his neck, completely it was like suffocating, that he was not able to get relief from Krishna. Na Asaknod. He could not get free from the hands of Lord Krishna. Then he was thinking, Adbhutam Arbakam. He therefore thought this child was very wonderful. Since he could not bear the child nor cast aside his burden, he thought Krishna is the most wonderful child. So even though Krishna was a small boy, he exhibited heavy weight. Even demon was appreciating that Krishna is wonderful. Next. So this is when Krishna had brought down the two trees, Yamalarjuna trees. These trees were of so height, they went for kilometers height, it seems. Krishna was a small boy, so he pulled them down. So when everybody came there, because of the huge sound, everybody were wondering how could the two trees fell down. There was neither wind, there was neither a thunderbolt, there was no symptom of an earthquake. Then how could these two trees fell down? So all the boys who were also witnessing, they all explained to the Nanda and all the other cowhead boys that yes, Krishna had taken his wooden drum inside these two trees and he pulled them down. So any intelligent person will put the faith in the words of the boys. No, it's like Nanda Maharaj was also saying, no, it is not possible. How could such small boy bring down such huge trees? So it says, Nate taduktam jagruhur na gatete tasya tat balasya utpatanam tarvoho kechid sandigdha chetasaha. So because of excessive affection for Lord Krishna, Nanda Maharaj and other elderly gopas, so they thought, na gatete tasya tat balasya utpatam tarvo. It is not possible for Krishna to uproot these heavy trees. Na te tad uktam jagruhu, or not they could put faith in the words of the boys who saw all the activities as a witness. Then some of them thought kechid, some thought sandigdha chetasaha, with doubt in their mind. Since Krishna was predicted to be as equal to Narayana, it might be he could have done it. Because Gargamuni said, Krishna is Narayana has come in your house. In his activities, he is equal to Narayana. So people could correlate. Oh, one day Gargamuni said that Lord Krishna's activities will be glorified in terms of Lord Narayana's activities. Some people had doubt. Maybe Krishna, as predicted by Gargamuni, could have performed it also. Next, one more place. When Krishna had killed Aghasura demon, all the demigods were celebrating. So there was music going on, there were trumpets and everything was going on, they were showering flowers upon Krishna. At that time, Brahmadeva was doing some activity in his meditation, but suddenly he felt like some disturbance in a nearby place. Some heavy sound was happening. So he came to see what was this sound about, what was this disturbance about. So his astonishment is recorded in Bhagavatam. It says, Tad adbhuta stotra suvadya gitika jayadi na naika utsava mangalasvanam shrutva swadamno anti aja agado achirad društva mahishasya jagama vishmayam. This is about Brahma's nature, it says. Tad adbhuta stotra suvadya gitika. There was adbhuta, wonderful, stotra, glorification of the Lord, suvadya, musical instruments were being played, gitika, songs were being sung, jaya adi, Krishna's glorification has been happening, Jai Krishna were happening, nikata utsava, in na eka utsavaha, in a festive mood everything was happening. Like a festival, everybody, different people were glorifying the Lord. Mangalasvanam, and it is most auspicious things. Mangalasvanam, all these things were in a auspicious way which are being done. Shrutva, hearing, Swadamnaha, in near his abode, Ajaha, Lord Brahma, Anti, Agato Achirad, he came to that place where this musical sound was happening, he came immediately to that place. Društva, he saw, Maha Ishasya Jagama Vishmayam, he saw the glorification of Lord Krishna by all the devatas and he became completely astonished. What is these demigods? They are all worshipping a forest boy, a cowhead boy. So Brahma also became bewildered by Krishna's pastimes. He thought, what is this? So special. They are glorifying a village boy, cowhead boy. So like that, next, one more place it says, further, Na etad vichitram manuja arbaka mayinaha paravaranam paramasya vedasaha agopi yat sparshana dauta patakaha prapa atma samyam tu asatam sudurlabam. So Lord Krishna is para avaranam, he is the cause of all causes, and paramasya vedasaha, and he is both higher and lower and all created by the Supreme Lord of all the material world, all the causes and effects of higher and lower, everything is created by the Lord. Paramasya Vedasaha. And Manuja Arba Mayinaha, and who has appeared as a son of Nanda Maharaj, like a common human being, in a human being form, he has appeared in this Arbaka as a small child. Then, Na etad vichitram. For him to exhibit his unlimited opulence was not at all wonderful. Because Lord, he is a supreme controller. He is already full of all the opulences. Nothing wonderful for him to display his opulences. Na echat vichitram. At agopi yat sparshana dauta patakaha. When Lord Krishna touched his feet to Agasura, he is the most sinful person. Snakes are most sinful. Their life is a condemned life. Shri Radha Govinda ki. So there, what happens? Even the most condemned form, by the touch of the Lord Krishna's lotus feet, he achieved the position of one of the associates of Vaikuntha with the same form. So he became one of the Vaikuntha Vasis in the same form, Sarupya. Even though most sinful living entity achieved the form of Vaikuntha form, Prapatma Swayambhu, and achieving that Sarupya Muktihi, so Asatam Sudurlabam, which is very impossible for materially contaminated persons to attain. So this connection with Lord Krishna, even a little service done favorably, they get more highest benefit. And common man can never achieve this perspective. So that is the wonderful activities of the Lord. Even most sinful person becomes elevated immediately to the spiritual world. So gopis, they were expressing their mood of wonder of Lord Krishna to Uddhava. They say, Smaratam Krishna Viryani Leela Apanga Nirikshitam Hasitam Bhashitam Cha Anga Sarvana Shitila Kriya. Smaratam, as we remember, Krishna Viryani, the pastimes and wonderful activities of Lord Krishna. Leela Apanga Nirikshitam, and his playful, sidelong glances. Then hasitam bhashitam cha, he is smiling and his words. Anga, oh my dear Uddhava, sarvenaha shitila kriyaha, we forget all our material engagements. So Krishna's activities are such a way that as soon as you remember about Krishna, we forget everything about this material world. It is the most wonderful thing. Then one more wonderful thing was presented in the Rasa dance. It says, Pravishtena grihitanam kante svanikatam shriyaha. So there were many women, gopis, and everybody were dancing. Everybody felt Krishna was next to her only. Every gopi was thinking Krishna is very dear, that he had not left me, he is dancing with me only. Pravishtena grihitam, as they went into the dance, each one was embracing the other. Kante swanikatam shriyaha, everyone was thinking Lord Krishna was swanikatam, he is next to me. All these triyaha, all the women, all the gopis, they were thinking Krishna is next to me only. Yam manyeran nabastavad, and they are all thought nabastavad vimana shatashankulam. In the sky, to see this wonderful pastime, there were vimana shatashankulam, hundreds and thousands of airplanes were settled across the top of where this Rasa Leela is happening. The top, there were hundreds and thousands of vimana shankulam, airplanes were stationed there. Divokasam sadharanam, all the inhabitants of the heavenly planets, along with their wives, they all were present in that heavenly airplanes. Ati autsukta bhritatmanam, and they were all very curious to see this wonderful pastime. Even though Krishna is one, how he is able to expand into many, many forms. To see this wonderful pastime, all the demigods became very inquisitive, very eager to see these pastimes. Then, tato dundubhyo nedur nipetuhu pushpa vrishtayaha, being very astonished, being very satisfied, they started playing the drums and became joyful, and they started showering pushpa vrishtihi. They started showering the rain of flowers. So this is one more wonderful activity. Even demigods became astonished how Krishna, even though he is one person, he has expanded into many, many forms. Each gopi was feeling Krishna is next to me only. This is most wonderful thing. So then Sudama, when he approached Lord Krishna, what was his feeling? Kvaham daridra papiyan, who am most sinful person, daridraha. Papiyan, most unfortunate person, I am sinful person. Kwa Krishna Sriniketanaha, and what to speak of Krishna? He is personification of all the opulences, Sriniketanaha. Brahma Bandhur iti sma aham, even though I am a Brahma Bandhu, I am not qualified person. Iti sma aham, he treated me as his own friend. Bahubhyam parirambitaha, and he had embraced me with his own arms. So, Krishna is the most wonderful personality. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am such a poverty-stricken person, I am an unqualified person, but Krishna is embracing me. So what better, what not special of Lord Krishna? So in this way, Krishna's pastimes are very unique, very wonderful. That is what Bhagavatam is trying to communicate. Similarly, one more place it is said, Evam vidani asya hare swamayaya vidamba banasya nrulokanam atmanaha viryani gitani rushibir jagadguror lokam punanani aparam vadamikim. So, vidamba manasya nrulokam atmanaha. Lord Krishna appeared as a human being in this material world. Vidambanaha, it is most wonderful thing. And evam vidani asya hare swamaya, by his own internal energy, he had performed many unique pastimes. Then, aparam vadamikim, what shall I speak other than this? Viryani Gitani Rushabir Jagadguru, all greatly saintly persons who are like spiritual masters of the entire world, they who sang about them, Viryani Gitani, who glorified the pastimes of the Lord, all celebrated devotees, all great sages across the universe who glorify the Lord of his pastimes. Lokam punanami, just by hearing that, the entire universe becomes purified. From the right source, if you hear the Krishna's pastimes, will purify the entire universe. The whole perspective is Krishna's wonderful pastimes are there to attract our consciousness so that we become purified and we engage in devotional service. See, sometimes what happens in this material world, people try to cheat us. So, there was 3 friends who had gone to a bar weekend. So, they drank heavily. So, they don't want to take own driving, they don't want to take the risk. They came outside and they got into a taxi and they had asked him, proceed to the destination. So, that taxi driver could understand these people are heavily drunk. So, he started the engine and switched off. And he said, sir, we have reached the destination. Then first one got out. He paid the amount. Second one said, thank you very much for bringing us home. The third one gave a tight slap. Then he wondered what for it might be. Did he identify that we have not travelled, I have cheated or what? Then he asked the third person, what is this for? He said, next time drive carefully. You almost killed us. See, what happens, we are in this material world in a drunken state, we imagine many things. So that assumptions are very wrong. Krishna consciousness is not based on assumptions, it is on true facts. How could Lord accept a huge form? So it is that Krishna can do anything and everything. He is all capable personality. We have to be first fixed on that perspective. Krishna is all capable. So then all these pastimes will make sense, or else it will be like, that's why many people say, oh, these are all imaginations, mythology. Why people have this feeling, all our stories are all mythology. So they think that it is all impractical. Because they have no experience of all these activities, they say, no, because I cannot do, nobody else can do. This is one basic principle. Atmavat manyate jagat. They say, because I cannot do, the whole world cannot do. They foolish understanding. So similarly, there was one Prabhupada pastime recollection also. So Chaitanya, like Prabhupada always quotes, he writes in one letter to a devotee, Lord Chaitanya has forecast that this Hare Krishna Maha Mantra will be heard in every nook and corner of the globe. He is God, so it will happen, and this is a fact. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predicted, Yare deko tare kaho, Krishna Upadesh. On my order, you preach. Bharata bhumle manusya janma haila yara, janma sartha kari karo paropakara. And he also said, make your life successful. And he also said that every nook and corner my name will be heard. So, because Lord had predicted it and it will happen. So, Prabhupada says, so if we take advantage, then we can take the credit, or else somebody else will take. So we have to execute that order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then we will get the credit, or else somebody else will come and do that activity and they will take the credit. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has predicted and it should happen. Because one of the names of the Lord is Satya Sankalpaha. His desires are naturally fulfilled. He need not separately endeavor to fulfill them. He just desiring, it will be put into action. So this was one pastime where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, like Prabhupada at Advaita Bhavan in Shantipur. So this was explained by the Pujari who was serving in Advaita Bhavan. So one day he used to serve the deities there in Advaita Bhavan, Advaita Acharya's house in Shantipur. So he used to perceive one Bengali gentleman who used to come in a white dress and sit at the back of the temple and continuously chant. So there was no verbal discussion between both of them. He used to do his service, and that devotee used to sit there and he used to chant continuously. So this pujari used to perceive sometimes that devotee was having tears in his eyes. He was in ecstasy. So he was thinking maybe what mood that person might be, like he was thinking. So once in a month or twice in a month, the devotee used to come and this pujari used to observe them. That's why, and he used, they just high by like that it was going on. For many years he could not see that person. Suddenly one day in 1965, somewhere in around June, he saw a saffron clad sannyasi sitting there with a dhanda and all these things. And again he is in the same ecstatic mode. He was chanting and he was crying. Now this time when this pujari keenly observed that it was his old friend whom he saw in a white dress, is the same person. So he went to him and he had asked him, I remember you have been coming here earlier. Now after a long time I am seeing you. Who are you and what is your name? He says, I am an insignificant servant of His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. My name is Abhay Sharana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swamy Prabhupada. Bhakti Vedanta Swamy, he says. So then he says, I am an insignificant servant of my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj had ordered me to preach this philosophy of Lord Chaitanya in the Western countries. On the order of my Guru, I am traveling now to the West in very few nearby. I am praying to all the acharyas because this is the place where Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sit and have discussions about Krishna Katha, about preaching aspects and all. I am praying for their mercy so that I can execute the order of my spiritual master. So that's the thing. He went away. Prabhupada went away after that. He could not hear anything. What happened? After 3 years or 4 years or 5 years down the line, he suddenly saw white people, brahmacharis, they were coming to this place. So he was wondering, who are these people? Where are these people coming from? So one day, out of inquisitiveness, he asked one of them, because he doesn't know much English, so he was asking them, so who are you, all these things and all. So they also, they could, because he doesn't know English and they don't know Bengali, they just gave him a magazine where backside they saw there was a portrait of Back to Godhead of Prabhupada, and they said to him, we are all disciples of Prabhupada. Like that they gave that magazine. So as soon as he saw that magazine, he became very inspired. Then he ran to the temple where Prabhupada disciples have started, that first center in Mayapur. He went to them and he was asking that one of the devotees to come, I want to talk to you, I want to understand. So then that the devotees, who were all there, they came there and they started understanding. In a broken English, he was explaining. So that he was the same person whom I had seen long back. This is the same Guru Maharaj. I was thinking, he explained the entire narrative, how he had experience of Prabhupada. And I was thinking that he is the one who has been blessed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to preach this Krishna consciousness all over the world. See how, like if you do, you will get the credit, like as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had predicted. So I could see that your Guru Maharaj is blessed by all the previous acharyas, that he will be able to execute the mission of Lord Chaitanya. So this is the perspective. We should not think of our abilities. We are all zeros. But when we start executing the service of mission of Guru and Lord Krishna, automatically the one gets added. And our value becomes 10 times more, 100 times more. So since day after tomorrow is Nityananda Trayodasi, so there are some glories of Lord Nityananda in Chaitanya Charitamrita and Chaitanya Bhagavata. So some of these verses they say, Bada Ghuda Nityananda ye avatare Chaitanya dekaya yare se dekite pare. So Lord Nityananda's pastimes are very confidential. Unless they are revealed by Lord Chaitanya, nobody can understand Lord Nityananda. It says that. Next. Name Nityananda tumi, Rupe Nityananda, Ye tumi Nityananda, Rama Murti Manta. Your name is Nityananda, your form is Nityananda. It is eternal form of bliss, Nitya Ananda. Ye tumi Nityananda, Rama Murti Manta. And you are that same Nityananda who is Lord Balarama, who has expanded in that form. And in one more place, Brihad Yamala, Lord Krishna speaks as follows. Balaramo mamai vamshaha, so api tatra bhavishyanti. So Balarama, mama eva amshaha, who is my amshaha. So api tatra bhavishyanti, he will appear in this respective place. Nityananda iti kyataha, he becomes very famous by name Nityanandaha. Nyasi Chudamani Kshito, and he is the most wonderful sannyasi on this earth. Chudamani, he is the crest jewel of all the sannyasis. Ei Krishna Navadvipe Shai Chaitanya Chandra. Who is Lord Krishna in Navadvipa? Same Krishna in Navadvipa, he becomes Lord Chaitanya. Say Balarama Sange Sri Nityananda. Same Lord Balarama becomes Lord Nityananda here. Nityananda Paryatana Bhojana Vebhara Nityananda Vinakichu Nahika Tomara. So Lord Nityananda's traveling, eating and dealings are full of eternal bliss. There is never any diminution in your enjoyment of eternal bliss. Nityananda Prasade Sei Hoya Vishnu Bhakti. By the mercy of Lord Nityananda, one attains Lord Vishnu's Bhakti. Janiha Krishnera Nityananda Purna Shakti. Knowing it that certain Lord Nityananda is the full potency of Lord Krishna. Then Narottam Das Thakur also says, Hena Nita Vinay Bai Radha Krishna Paite Nai Druda Kari Dhara Nithayara Pada. So unless one takes shelter of Nithayara Pada, lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, it will be very difficult for him to approach Radha Krishna. If one actually wants to enter into the dancing party of Radha and Krishna, he must firmly catch hold of lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. Krishnera Dvitiya Nityananda Bhayinai. So Lord Krishna, Nityananda is the second manifestation of Krishna. Sangi Saka Shayana Bhushana Bandhu Bhai. He acts in various ways in serving the Lord. Sangi as a companion, Saka as a friend, Shayana as a bed, Bhushana as ornaments, Bandhu as well-wisher, and Bhai as brother. Vedera Agamya Nityanandera Charitra. Even characteristics of Lord Nityananda are incomprehensible by Vedic literatures. Sarva Jiva Janaka Rasaka Sarva Mitra. He is the origin, protector and friend of all living entities. Ihara Vyavhara Sabha Krishna Rasamaya Ihane Sevile Krishna Prema Bhakti Hoya. Lord, his dealings are full of Krishna's transcendental mellows. Just by serving him, one obtains devotional service to Lord in love of Lord Krishna. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Sharanaravinda Yanha Hoite Painu Sri Radha Govinda. So all glories to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda. By serving his lotus feet, one attains the shelter of Lord Radha Govinda. Prabhu bole, Ei Nityananda Swarupera, Ei Karaya Bhakti Shraddha, Sei Kare Amare. So one who has faith and devotion for Lord Nityananda has faith and devotion for me. Ihana Charana Shiva Brahmara Vandita, Atayeva Ihane Kariha Sabe Prita. Even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva worships at his lotus feet. So anybody who worships him is very dear to me. If you show love to him, you show love to me. Atayeva Ihane Kariha Sabe Prita. Tilardake Ihane Yahara Dvesha Rahe. Even for a moment somebody envies or disobeys Lord Nityananda, Bhakta Haila Ose Amara Priya Nahe. Even though he may be devotee, then he is not dear to me. So if you envy Nityananda, you will not become very dear to me. Nityananda Avaduta Sabate Agala Chaitanyara Dasya Preme Hoile Pagala. So Lord Nityananda is a wandering mendicant. He is the foremost of all the associates of Lord Chaitanya. He becomes mad in ecstasy of the service to Lord Chaitanya. Samsarera Parahai Bhaktira Sagare Ye Dhubibe Se Bajuka Nitha Chandere. So those who wish to cross this ocean of cycle of birth and death, so drown in the ocean of devotion service, should worship Lord Nityananda. So in that perspective, so Lord Nityananda is basis for us. If for those who wants to traverse this ocean of cycle of birth and death, they have to worship, take shelter of Lord Nityananda. So there are many more verses. So we will post them day after tomorrow, the verses which glorify Lord Nityananda. So we'll stop here. Grandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanand.
హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణ వాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి